class, and I want to show you everything I saw. If you haven't seen this and you've heard it, get where you can see. It won't be long before you're gonna be like, I'm gonna have to see this. This is Dasani. If you're not familiar with Dasani, it's made by Coca-Cola. I don't know if that surprises anybody yet. This is Aquafina, and it's made by Pepsi. I can tell you, sitting where you're sitting, my first question was, hey, what is the big 1 and 2 Pepsi Coca-Cola doing in this business? Because I thought this was a Dasani company, and this was an Aquafina company. I didn't know they had anything to do with Coke and Pepsi. But let me share this with you. I'm going to teach you this today. Because this is where the money's at. The money's not over here. They do billions in this industry. This is a giant, isn't it? They do trillions over here. All they have to do is move you. It took them about 15 years. I'm going to teach you how they moved you and why you moved. I'm going to show it to you. People say, what do you mean they moved us? Well, do you remember buying water 20 years ago?
No.
There was a water fountain right there with the best water on the planet. And if someone said, I got it over here in a can, you can be like, I'm not giving you 5 cents. It's right there. Water was water, right? So they had to move you. So I'm going to teach you how they moved you. But let me tell you why they moved you. Watch this. This is made by Coca-Cola. This is made by Coca-Cola. This is 69 cents on the way here. If anybody disagrees, let me know. This is 69 cents on the way here. I've had somebody say, this is 99 cents at my store. Okay, that one's 99 cents at that store. It's all relative. Let's just use a round number like $1 and get rid of semantics here. This is $1, this is $1. I don't know how much of the dollar of this bottle eats up in profit. I don't claim to know. You name a number, 2 cents. There's a 98% profit, you know, because this bottle's a good bottle. I know this. You're already making money by just bottling it in this bottle. And you say, well, that's not enough. You know, that's not enough. Let me tell you what's in here. There's a licorice. There's a dye in it. There's a caramel. There's a carbonation. You tell me how much that eats up the profit. 2 cents? I don't claim to know. But I know what's in here. This is tap water. Ran through reverse osmosis. Now, I do know how much Pepsi and Coca-Cola and Nestle pays for their tap water. Watch this. They pay 0.002 1/100ths of 1 penny gallon. And we bought a pint. I mean, home run. That's a 10,000% markup. And you say, well, yeah, that's easy for them to make that money if they can move us. Yeah, I'll show you how they moved you. Now, let me help you with this, because I know you heard me say reverse osmosis. In the United States, we sell reverse osmosis. It's expensive. And they told you the truth about reverse osmosis. This is why you might have bought it. Reverse osmosis takes out the bad minerals, and it takes out the bad gases out of our water. And we'll pay for clean water. Amen? We've proven that. Let me tell you what they didn't tell you in the United States. Are you ready for this? Reverse osmosis takes out the good minerals too. It takes out everything. And the Japanese call it dead water. It's banned in their country. It's banned in Europe. People say, what do you mean banned? You can't bring reverse osmosis into Japan. You can't import it in. You can't export it out. Why do you think that is? I'm going to say something really hard for you to hear, but I want you to hear this. Water doesn't even hydrate you. How hard to hear is that? It's the minerals in the water that hydrate you. Water's the propulsion to push the minerals into the pores, just like it's the propulsion for oxygen. So my friends say, hey, until I get my arms around this, what should I be drinking? I'm like, hey, let's make it simple. Make sure there's minerals in it. Yes. Make sure it's mineral rich. Well, here's what these countries are saying. We banned it. There's no minerals in it. It doesn't even have the molecular scientific ability to hydrate you. This is just a conglomerate making money. On top of that, there's no regulation. It's leaching in a petroleum-based bottle. And it might be 2 weeks old. And it might be 8 months old. And it could be 4 years old. There's no regulation. There's no born-on date. The average bottle of water takes 9 months to get to your store. The average. Some of those really nice fancy waters, I won't name them because I'm being filmed, but you know, some of those nice fancy waters might take 1.5 years to get to your stores. But what I will tell you is what I can back up with documentation from these standpoints. So, you know, let me tell you, this bottle here, you know how long it takes to biodegrade? Someone's going to care. Everyone doesn't care about the footprint. And let me help you. You know how long it takes to biodegrade this? They're saying between 1,600 and 2,000 years. This one they're saying, there's not a lot to it, Mike. It's just like maybe 500 years, 400 years. This is still your children's 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 children are going to see residue of what we left on the planet on something that we bought for $1 that was marked up 10,000 times. It's in a petroleum-based bottle. There's countries that say, no, it's illegal. We're not going to allow you to do that. We're not going to allow corporations to do that. If countries are banning something, I've got my ear open. I've got a family. Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's good for us. We know that, right? So, hey, this one's Ozarka. This one comes, this is what I drank before I saw this. If you want me to go on record, I'm going to tell you why. It came from the mountains, Ozarka. I mean, they can't lie to us. They can mislead us, right? It says it on the bottle, and my friends are like, Mike, you are so naive. Just flip it around and read it. And I swear there's 10 lines right here. I can't read it with glasses. But when I get real close, it says, Wood County, Texas. This is their water. I'm not mad at them. I just had no idea this is municipality water. You ever been to Wood County, Texas? There's no mountains. But, you know, I'm not mad at them. Now I'm going to teach you how they moved you. You ready for this? This one's the most expensive. This is baby water. And you know, let me tell you why they charge more for this? Because there's a heart on it. And it says baby. You know, our kids didn't get to pick. You know, my kids didn't get to pick their daddy, right? Your kids didn't get to pick you, so we're just doing the best we know how to do. It's for a baby, and so it is more expensive, so I'll buy that for them. And now I'm going to show you how they moved you. Ready? They wrote it on the bottle. Give yourself 2 seconds. Read this word and just think what it means to you. Give yourself a few seconds, and I'll bring you home. They wrote it right there. Purified water. Purified water. Think what that means to you. Don't say it out loud. Purified water. Now you ready? Let me tell you what they got you to hear. Clean. Is that what it meant to you? Purified, clean. It's purified, it's clean. No, it's not clean, it's purified. Oh, same thing. No, not the same thing. That's what they got you to hear over the last 15 years. It's purified. Mike, I don't understand. What's the difference? It's purified. There's nothing good in it. There's nothing bad in it. It's just dead. Scientists use purified water to test because it's the same exact sample. There's nothing in it. Okay, look, I'm not getting you. I know when I'm not getting you. And I know why I'm not getting you. Water was water when you came here. We don't know water, do we? But we know food, don't we? Yeah. We know food, don't we? Who believes what's wrong with our food is that we farmed our land, and farmed our land, same land, to a point that it's missing minerals. Yes. We're taking supplements for what's missing in our soil. Who believes that's true? Who believes we farm that same piece of property for the next 250 years, there might come to a point that there's not any good or bad minerals in there? Who believes that food's probably not the best to eat? What if they came out and said, hold on a second, our food's been purified? And we'd be like, oh, ding, I get it now. That's not a good thing, is it? That it's purified. This is why these are banned in these other countries. So, let me tell you what purified means. It means no minerals. I think it's kind of arrogant that they wrote on the bottle, hey, buy our water, it's more expensive, and we have no minerals in it. I mean, that's what they wrote. But we don't hear it that way. This is Capri Sun. If you have kids, or go to events for kids, or go to parties, you'll see it everywhere you go. You can't go to a child's thing and not find this. I want you to hear this, moms and dads. This is the worst thing I have on this table. People are like, okay, I don't know. Not bad like soda. Bad like soda. Worse than soda. Worse than soda. Look, if you'll get my heart today, you'll leave with a lot of good stuff. Know my heart of what I'm trying to show you. We're adults in the room. No one needs to tell you what to eat or drink or make you feel bad or judge you. If I want to go outside and smoke a cigarette, I should be able to smoke a cigarette. That's an adult decision. You can decide good decision, bad decision. But you shouldn't judge me that I smoke. I can make that decision, right? What I can't do is give my 10-year-old a cigarette. You say, no, you can't do that. We're getting ready to make a phone call on that deal, right? See the difference? What I'm showing you is for you. If you want to drink it, drink it. You can't let your kids drink this. If you want to drink this after I've showed it to you, no one needs to make you feel bad that you drink soda. Drink it, but don't let your mama drink it. Deal with cancer, or your uncle, or your cousin drink it. That'll deal with those things. Thank you. I'll start to yell. Hey, this is Propel. Now look, this says antioxidant on the bottle. This is an antioxidant hunter. Are you with me? This is going to be cool. If this measures a -1, that was kind of misleading, wasn't it? You have to drink 50 of these to equal a vitamin C tablet. You weren't betting on that one. You were buying antioxidants, were you? Now, but if it says negative 300, that's 3 times more powerful than juicing. See the difference? This would be cool. I mean, everyone says drink this for the electrolytes. Electrolytes, this is the electrolyte hunter. If this says negative 5, that means I got to drink 10 of these to equal a vitamin C tablet. But if this said negative 200, that's twice more, that's better than juicing. So we're going to see those two. I'm going to teach you those two. This is Gatorade. This is soda. This is all soda, so you know. This is Dr. Pepper, Mr. Pibb. This is sugar-free calorie, 0, 1. It's carbonation. It's Topo Chico. It's Perrier. It's champagne. You know, everybody says, I don't do that. I just drink this. It's, you know, sugar-free calorie 1. That's all I drink. Or Diet Coke. I say, hey, same thing. Yeah. Hey, this is tap water. Listen to me. If you are a tap water drinker, do not shut down on me. Stay here. Let me keep your attention. And I'll tell you why I say that. When I sat where you were sitting, I was in my late 40s then. I'm 57 years old. I was in my late 40s, in great shape. And the guy started talking about tap water, and I was like, oh, I've been doing that thing since I was this big. How are you gonna tell me that's not good for me? I can still tell you the metal taste of the hose in my mouth. When I came inside my daddy's house, he was like, boys, you coming in or out? We grew up the same way. Yeah. We're not air conditioned in the neighborhood. Your daddy didn't say it to you. And you went, Dad, I'm thirsty. There's a hose outside. And I didn't have a problem. I did it until someone said, let's go play some basketball. And I said, oh, hold on a minute. I just drank a lot of water. Right? What time did y'all have to be home growing up? I had to be home when the street lights came on. See, I had someone tell me dark. I said, well, dark didn't play a role. I remember walking in my door trying to tell my dad, it's not dark yet. You know, the street lights might be on, but it's not dark yet, and that didn't go over very good. And I don't think I ever said anything else to my dad sideways, because I was scared he was going to eat me. But we grew up the same way. And then this is the star of the show, Kangen water 9.5. Hey, let me go back to tap water. There's no regulation here in tap water. Listen to me. Last year alone, there was 116,000 new chemicals introduced to your local municipality. That would have freaked me out if you'd have told me 100 new chemicals. 116,000. What do you think those chemicals are? It's the steroid, huh? Medications. The steroids, the antibiotics we're on, the steroid that's in the cow, the antibiotic that's in the chicken, mainly all of our medications. There's fluoride in there. There's chlorine in there. You don't even want to know what all's in there. There's a chemical in there to make it clear. There's a lot of stuff in there, and there's no regulation. So don't think this is what you've been drinking. I'm going to show that to you. But don't think this is what you've been drinking your whole life. You know, that was my problem, thinking I've been drinking it forever. There's no way. I'm going to show you what's in there today. This is Kangen water 9.5. I want to jump in. I want to show you those 3 properties, and then we're going to thank my man over here for getting that crowd to quiet down over there. Yeah, I was starting to yell. So I'm going to program this thing. I don't know if that's the right word, but Gaia, what am I doing? What's this called? Calibrating. Hey, it's okay. I went in San Antonio. I can't remember that word either.
I can't remember it often. So you put it in the 9.5 after you calibrate?
Yeah, I'm putting it in 2 opposite types of waters that it balances the meter, because I keep it.
So is beauty water one of them?
No, but I keep it in something really, really, really sterilized. Okay. And so this will speed up. This first one's going to take a minute. This is the sign. Hey, if it's positive, it's an oxidant. If it's negative, it's an antioxidant. I never know what it is. Somebody call a number out of what it is.
252.
Is it slowing down any?
No, it's keep going up.
Tell me when it starts slowing down. They're not all going to be this slow, just the first one. Slowing down yet? What is it?
It's still going.
270.
It's still going.
That's starting to slow down.
No,
Slow
it's
down,
not.
not going down, slowly.
It's okay, it's okay. We won't all do
It's
this.
gonna go 3 plus.
It's gonna go 300.
This is really slow. Watch how fast it normally goes.
There you go. It's
There you go.
300. This is a positive 300 or better or worse.
Yeah.
This is a positive 300. Doesn't matter what your neighbor says. That is oxidizing. It's real simple. If you can find something that costs less, that's less oxidizing, buy it. This isn't. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure it out. Aquafina, is that a 300? Or is that less?
Ooh.
Higher. Hey, that's like 320. Look, this one's more oxidizing than that one. That's a scientific fact. This has one job. It measures oxidation. Are you still with me? This is Ozarka. It comes from Wood County, Texas. The tips of those mountains over there.
Is that the spring water?
Wow.
What is that? Hey, look, this is easy. This one's the most oxidizing of the three.
Wow.
Are you still with me?
Yes.
If these were the only three on the planet, you had to drink one of those three. It's your only choice. They're all the same size. They all cost $1. You wouldn't buy Ozarka. There's a better bang for your buck in the marketplace. I just showed you that. Now, before you stop buying Ozarka and start buying Dasani, next time we do this, come back. And guess what? This one might be a positive 195, and this one might be a positive 400. Why is that? Because all water on the planet, including this water, all water has a shelf life. All water breaks down. All water is the greatest solvent on the planet. They carved out the Grand Canyon.
Yes.
And we put it in a petroleum-based bottle. Now, what breaks down water? Time breaks down water. Light breaks down water. I'm going to show you that. You don't have to trust me. Motion breaks down water. Temperature breaks down water. So does it matter if this is sitting in front of your gas station in pallets all summer?
Yes. Big time.
Yeah, it matters. I'm going to show that to you. Does it matter that you have it in an ice chest because you like to fish or whatever, and then you put it back in the garage, and then you put it back in an ice chest?
Yeah.
Does it matter if it's 4 years old or 4 weeks old? Yes.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. But water's water, right? I know. I'm not telling you anything I haven't thought myself. I came here with my arms crossed, mad that I had to go. From that standpoint, this is what we give the babies. Listen to this one. We give this one the babies. It costs the most. Let's talk about oxidation, speeding up the aging process. What is it?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Hey, it's the most oxidizing one. And they told you there's no minerals in it. Can't even hydrate the baby. And it's the most expensive. What are we doing? Buy this one and make your formula with it. At least they got a shot. You know, in San Antonio, we do it every week, and they know me. And I always thought, we're like halfway through the game, right? In our 50s. The baby just got here. I mean, if anybody could afford to oxidize, it's the baby. No, that's not how it works. No, that's not how it works. No, we don't want the baby to oxidize. This is what we give the kids.
Oh, boy.
Here, hey, listen, we don't know what we don't know. Watch this. Guys, this has one job. I don't know what it is. Tell me what it is.
523.
500. When you find out what a 500 millivolts of ORP oxidation is on this planet, you will never let anybody you know drink this, whether they're your baby or kid or uncle. Hey, remember 450? 450 is when you pulled them out of the smog from the bus outside. Hey, get inside. That is not smart at all. Now get inside and get healthy. Leave them in the smog. They got a better chance. Before you drag them inside and give them this. Hey, we don't know what we don't know. Trust me. I have mamas that sit here and say, this is what I buy by the case. Yeah, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. Stop buying it. Or buy it for you. You drink it. Don't give it to your kids. And you're going to find out that these things aren't as bad as that. Now let me teach you the marketplace. This is what you came to learn. This one says electrolyte, so it's gotta have it. It says it on there. And I'll tell you why I've got a lot of the professional teams and players on this water. What is it? Negative what? It's not negative, is it?
Positive.
Positive.
270.
Positive 275. Hey, more oxidizing than this one. Confusing, isn't it? Now, let me help you with it. It's real simple. We live in a great country of free enterprise. If I have 100 properties in here, 100 of them, they're all positively charged oxidants. They're not good for you. They're aging, they're rusting, they're harmful to you. And then I put 5 antioxidants in here, real antioxidants. I've got 100 positives and 5 negatives. And I shake it up. Can't be both. It's going to measure as one or the other, isn't it? What do you think it's going to measure, negative or positive? It's going to measure positive. You know, I can sell it as a negative. I can write it on the bottle and charge extra. And people go, so you're saying there's no antioxidants in there? No, I didn't say that. There's antioxidants in here. but they got ate up by the oxidants. So there's no electrons. There's no way for it to grab the free radical, be an electron donor, and take out the trash. If you want to bipropel, bipropel. But not because your thumb can touch your finger. You like purple. It tickles when it goes down. It's the biggest bottle of all the drinks. But don't buy for antioxidants. They're not there. And people say, hey, Mike, that's funny, but I'm an attorney, and thanks for the information. I'm going to sue them. And it's like, no, you're not. They didn't say they work. You've never seen a commercial, Bipropel manage diabetes? Bipropel takes away inflammation. Have you ever seen one commercial like that? It says, Bipropel, throw enough of these at the fence and some of them will go through just like the pros. That's the only commercial you've ever seen. You know, kind of misled you a little bit. Didn't lie to you, just kind of misled you. Pros aren't drinking this. There's no antioxidants in here. These are electrolytes. This would be fine. This would be cute to find out how many are in here. Is that it?
Your machine's off.
Turn it off.
You don't have to be good at this. You just got to be willing to stand up here.
You are good at it.
I'm willing. Hey, at least I haven't dropped it yet.
360.
Okay, 360 positive. It's more oxidizing than all the bottled waters. Where are the electrolytes?
None.
They're not.
Now people say, you're saying they're not in there. No, there was electrolytes in here. They didn't lie to you. Really, they don't know better. I've even got the medical community saying, hey, drink a lot of that to rebound a lot. Well, where are they at? This is what my mama had me drink. My mom was a salt of the earth angel. She's no longer on the planet. She's with our Heavenly Father. But I could tell you what her words were. Mike, drink this. She called me buddy. Hey, buddy, drink this. It'll make your belly feel better. So, and it's full of electrolytes so you can rebound. She wasn't even close to the truth. Now, look, did that make her a bad mama?
No.
No. She was just didn't know. She was uninformed. So if you understand that, I'm not pointing at you, but quit giving this to your baby thinking it's got full of electrolytes. This has one job. If they were in there, I would find them. Mike, how can they get away with it? Get away with what? There's electrolytes in here. There's too many oxidants in there to let them work. Soda's not an antioxidant, but you knew that, right? Just in case, what's that number?
400 positive.
400, 375, 400, 400, 500. Guys, there's no difference. There's other properties, but look, there's no difference. Quit telling everybody we don't drink that stuff at our house. And, that soda's the devil. We work out and we jog and we run and our kids are healthy. Hey, there's no difference. Let your kid drink the one that tastes the best. Buy the cheapest one. But quit thinking that's the bad guy and these are the good guys. They're the same. And that's just ORP. And we're going to keep showing you some more. This one's going to scare you guys. That's tap water. It's not what it used to be.
550.
Tell me when it gets to 600. When you find out what a positive 600 is on this planet, you will get away from tap water.
Yes.
200,000 people get sick and die on tap water on our planet every year. 200,000. You can just Google that one and watch it. This is a positive. Where did it get to? Did it get to 600? 580. Want me to hang out till 600? Hey, let me tell you something. You know what's worse than drinking tap water? Cooking in it. It's absorbing into all your food. This isn't what it used to be. There's no regulation. There is none. I'm going to show you some more about this. This is the start of the show. Is that positive or negative? Hey, isn't that crazy? Those are antioxidants. Those are electrolytes. But I don't know what the number is. What is it?
Negative 400.
Hey, negative 400. Guys, that's 4 times more powerful than juicing. You find a juicer and say, hey, what if I juice like you, but 4 times as much every day? Do you think life is going to change?
No, sir.
Yes, life's going to change. You're not going to be able to keep up with it. It's going to cost you $100 a day. But yeah, it's going to change. Now stay with me. You need to see this. This is where it's been, in a dark, opaque place. It hasn't been shaken up. Temperature hasn't been hitting it. This has been out in the light, out in the temperature. I've been bouncing it around. That's a positive. But where did it come from?
That bottle.
Agreed? So shouldn't this be a positive 400? Is where it came from.
Negative.
Negative 400? Good catch. I was just seeing if you was awake there. You are.
No.
I didn't know what I was saying. Is that a positive? Negative 400?
Negative 6.
Wow.
Negative 600.
Is that not the K8?
Yeah, it was. At my house, I get to negative 800. But here's the point. Hey, it just lost 200 points in front of you in 20 minutes. People go, wow, is that really a big deal, Mike? You'll take vitamin C for 50.
Yeah.
It lost 200. You'll juice. You'll spend $200 a month for a negative 100 every day. This lost 200 sitting in front of you. We think it did in front of your Vallejo gas station all summer. Even if this was the best water on the planet. Hey, don't let me kid you. You gotta get it fresh. It has a shelf life. I've had people tell me, hey, I'm gonna buy a machine, I'm gonna bottle it in my manufacturing company, and I'm gonna send it out. Well, and I'm like, dude, you're the same problem with this industry. You're the same guy. Because by the time they get it, it's not what you're saying it is.
Right.
You can go to the grocery store right now, and there's alkaline water all over the grocery store. It's not the same thing.
CVS too.
It's not the same thing. And we're not talking about pH yet. I'll teach you more about the
Sodium
pH.
bicarbonate.
Sodium bicarbonate. Hey, give that a round of applause. That's ORP. And that's going to give me a chance to give me something to drink. Is it vodka?
Looks like vodka, don't it?
Let me get a shot.
2 miles deep, geothermal.
Vodka.
Let me go through 2 properties so I can test both properties.
Okay.
And that's cool. And I always urge people to do that. Bring your favorite deal. You don't have to tell me you're bringing it. I'll just throw it in the middle of the demo. But hey, we're going to talk about pH real quick. pH goes from 0 to 14. 7's neutral. Orange is bad. If it's purple, it's good. These are pH drops. They're potential hydrogen drops. You can get at your pool and spa company. And we're going to check the pHs of these things. And then I want you to think of these as people. And I'm going to help you understand healthcare reform, how other countries approach healthcare. I'm going to put about 5 drops in here. I might put 4, I might put 6. It doesn't really matter. Don't overcook this process. I'll just go real quick. It just really doesn't matter. I thought it did in the beginning. But what does matter is the pH. Think of these as people, and I'll help you through that. If you don't have a machine and you're not drinking the water, I want you to think of these first 4 as there's 65% of us in the United States are slightly acidic. 65% of us. That means it's no real big issue. This is about a 6. Remember, a 6 is only 10 times more acidic than your blood. You only need to add a few minerals to reach homeostasis. Doesn't take much at all. Your body does it on autopilot. That means you get the fatigue, you get stressed out, you get the flu, no big deal. These guys are 3 pHs. These are 10,000 times more acidic. This is rheumatoid arthritis, plantar fasciitis, Crohn's, diabetes, cancer. These are the bad boys. These aren't 100 times more acidic. These are 10,000 times more acidic. You're going to have to add a boatload of minerals to reach 7.365. Well, do we have to reach that? You will die. And this whole book is that you're born alkaline, you'll die acidic. He tells you you're really born about 7.6, and you end up dying about 6.7. It regulates down a little bit as we get older. But here's what I want you to see. I want you to see that bottled water is acidic. What does that mean? If you can find some water on the planet that's less acidic, that's less oxidizing, that costs less money, I'm going to buy that one. Buy that one. This is about a 6, 5.5, about a 6. This one's about a 5.5, almost a 6. Here's interesting. This one's the most acidic of all the bottled waters. And that's kind of, this one's the worst one of all of them. It's the highest ORP. It's the most oxidizing. It's the most expensive. And people are like, well, who buys it? Well, us sappy dads, because it has a heart on it that says baby. I can remember doing this when my 15-year-old was a baby. I said, hey, let's get that water. It's made for the baby. But they're expensive. He's my baby. This one's going to scare you guys. This is what we give the kids. 3. Sports drinks. You think the sports guys are drinking it? They're not. If you want to know what they're trying to do, they're trying to get rid of lactic acid. They're trying to get rid of uric acid. That's why leg day can't be every day, right? You work legs, you work chest, and you work legs. Why do we got to wait 3 days to work legs again? You got to let the uric acid, the lactic acid leave the body so you can rebound the muscle. People are like, hey, Mike, I knew soda was going to be acidic. Really? Is there a difference? There's no difference. Who's ever taught this? I'm going to guess your granddaddy, because it's my granddaddy. It wasn't my daddy. Who ever taught you that you had an older car and the car won't start because of the mineral buildup, the acid buildup on the battery? That you could go put a soda on there and it would clean the acid, make connection? We've all been taught that by somebody. Does everybody believe that's true?
Yes, true.
Hey, slow that down.
That's true.
Hey, if you have acid buildup on your battery, get some soda. It's so acidic that it'll break down battery acid.
You're right. You're right.
And if you don't get all willy-nilly out there and crazy, you could drink the rest. It doesn't even make sense, does it? We just don't slow it down, do we? Did God create a magnificent body for us?
Yep.
What did He design you to breathe in? Carbon dioxide. Oxygen. And then to breathe out as waste, carbon dioxide. It's a good program. Breathe in nice fresh oxygen. Breathe out as waste, carbon dioxide. This company says, hey, give us a little more than you give us here, we'll let you breathe in carbon dioxide. So we don't slow it down, do we? And watch this one, guys. This is a game changer. As you share this, people will say this. Hey, my tap water is alkaline. Your tap water is alkaline. People will tell you this. Hey, my tap water is alkaline. Say, hey, this is what you came to learn too. Heads up on this. This would be good information if you came to learn about alkaline water, but you didn't. You came here today to learn about alkalized water. People say, what's the difference? Oh, this one's a positive 500. This one's a negative 500. Okay? Now, let me teach it to you. There's not a lot of regulation. Hey, you guys are smart. There's not a lot of regulation in this industry. They can put anything in your water. They've proven that. For all this, call them up and ask them if there's fluoride in your water, if there's carcinogen, they can put anything in your water. But let me tell you what they learned a few years ago. See, they used to run acidic water through your city pipes, and it cost millions and millions of dollars to clean them, because you can't dig up all the pipes, right? You can't do that every 10 years. So it cost them millions of dollars because the pipes rust. But some smart women, some smart men learned something a few years ago. If we run alkaline water through the infrastructure of the city, the pipes won't rust, and we can save millions of dollars. And I know what you're thinking, because I thought the same thing. Well, that's kind of win-win, right? Their pipes don't rust, we get alkaline water. I'm asking my father-in-law, isn't that why you drug my rear end down here to see this? To find out there's no regulation on how they do it. So let me tell you how they do it. They dump a pH of 14, a carcinogen. Carcinogen means parts per million will kill you, right? And that chemical is called lye. You call them up there, they'll tell you. They'll tell you. And you know what the regulation is? Is this water has to be between 7.2 and 7.6 specifically. Now, they don't have a lot of other rules, but they have that one. Did you find that interesting? Here's what I'm trying to tell you. You could put chemicals in water and make it alkaline. That doesn't mean it's good for you. It's water over energy. You got to restructure the molecule. Don't get caught up on alkaline water, because you can go to the grocery store and find alkaline water. Oh, and by the way, they're not $1 no more. Now they're $3 for those bottles. But if you'll just flip the bottle over, it'll say sodium bicarbonate on it, which is baking soda. And baking soda makes it alkaline. But bring it in here, it's going to be a positive 400. Why? Because you just have chemicals in water. Stay with me, because I almost had you. I've got a pond that's full of amoebas and parasites and a stagnant, and I scoop up water, and if I drink it, it will make me sick or probably kill me. But then I sprinkle some baking soda in it, and I pH test it, and guess what? It's alkaline. But guess what? It's still going to kill me. Alkaline's not the buzz. It is for us, because we're learning what it is. So now Pepsi, Coca-Cola, and Nestle say, man, we'll triple the price and put some baking soda in it, and everybody will buy it, and everybody is. This is alkaline water. This is alkalized. You're not going to find this in a grocery store. That's right. I can't even bottle this and put it in a grocery store and it still be alkalized by the time you buy it. It has a shelf life. You have to buy it fresh. I brought a gallon of water up here. I left my house at 5:30 this morning from San Antonio, and I'll drive home tonight. I just came up here to share this with you guys. I filled up my jug, and I brought it here. And what do you think I did when I got here? I emptied it out. I'm going to refill fresh ORP before I go home, and I still have a half a gallon. Well, why'd you go through all that trouble? Because now it's like a negative 200. I want to go home with a negative 800. I want to be super oxygenated. I don't want to go to sleep when I'm going home. I don't want my feet to hurt. I don't want my legs to cramp. I know the difference. I've been doing it too many years.
Yeah.
And you'll learn the difference between these two. Here's what you came to see. Watch this. Out of this hose is magnesium, potassium, calcium, sodium, all those alkaline minerals your body is leaching when you're putting something acidic in. When you drink something acidic, they leach those properties. If you see it over here, these machines, there's another hose, and those were the carcinogens, the positively charged. You know, carcinogens are going. They're going down the drain until you learn what to do with them. But these are the ones you catch and drink. So we want to get to 7.365, right? We know who these guys are. How much of this water? How good is it? Well, look, this is only a 6. 10 times more acidic is not a big number. Watch, just a little bit. Wow. Mike, you only put in that much. It didn't take that much. That's all it had to leach out of my body. You drink one of these, your body's going to leach that little bit to reach homeostasis. 7.365 is a walk in the park. Used to have acid reflux, and now I don't.
That's right.
If you have acid reflux and you're not drinking a soda right now, and you're drinking this water, I guarantee you don't have acid reflux. I can do that with a room full of 500 people. Raise your hand if you have it. No one raises their hand. Except the guy back there kind of sipping on a Topo Chico or something. You know, I'm saying if you're drinking the alkaline water, you're not going to have it. And people go, man, that's pretty courageous to make that comment. Hold on. Do you know anybody who deals with acid reflux? Okay.
I do.
One or two things happen. She's either taking a prescription or she's doing it over the counter.
That's right.
Is it a prescription? Is it Prilosec?
Prilosec.
Is it? What is it?
Nexium.
Okay. Now, what is it called?
Omeprazole.
Omeprazole.
It's over the counter.
So now okay. Now you go to your doctor and say, hey, is it a bicarbonate? And your doctor's going to say, yeah, it's bicarbonate. Is that bicarbonate an alkaline mineral? Yeah. Doc, are you giving me this because I have acid reflux? You give me an alkaline mineral? Yeah. That didn't make sense. Watch this. Tums and Rolaids. It made sense to me. Tums and Rolaids. Who believes that will help a little bit?
Yep.
Tums and Rolaids are called antacids. Are you with me? Okay. They're antacids. They're anti-acids. Anti is the opposite of acids. They're alkaline pills. You're taking alkaline pills because you have acid reflux. People are like, that's still kind of confusing. Okay, Alka-Seltzer. You're taking Alka-Seltzer. You know, you're gonna battle acid reflux with alkalinity. And that's what's in Prilosec. It's a bicarbonate medicine. Now, do you want to eat a bunch of Tums or do you want some liquid Tums? Of course it's gonna do it. If you're diabetic, your diabetic is called ketoacidosis. Overload of acid. You're acidic for whatever the reasons. Maybe you're not producing insulin. Your pancreas isn't producing insulin. But if you're ketoacidosis and you move alkaline, you can't be ketoacidosis. I've helped a couple hundred people that had sugar levels above 200, 230, and the next morning be under 100. Mike, that can't be true. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. And they even say, how can water do that? Well, it's not water. It's not H2O. Well, I think it has a lot to do with my medication. Well, it hasn't had a lot to do with your medication in the last 20 years. If that's the way you want to think, stay with that thinking. Hey, but drink my water again. Now what is it? It's 96. Mike, there's no way water can do that. Then stop drinking. 150, 220. Now what can I do for you? Well, here's my credit card. I'm going to get off all my medications.
Yes.
That's too hard for someone to hear, I know. Hey, watch. How much does it take? Is this powerful?
Wow.
But here's what you came to see. That's homeostasis. That's 7.365 or above. These are the bad boys. If you can't see this, get to where you can. If you have children or anything, watch this. Yeah, you need to get the kid on some medication. You need to get him start working
Capri
out,
Sun, man?
eating vegetables, eating
Huh?
fruits. Huh?
Is that the Capri Sun?
It's a Capri Sun. I can't budget.
Oh, what is it?
It's a 3 pH. It needs 10,000 times these minerals. This needed 10. Now, think of that as your body. You give this to your kid, it's going to leach in more than this. It's going to leach in and take 10,000 times of those minerals. And then you wonder why they've been drinking this as a little kid growing up. Why are they 17 with onset childhood diabetes? Why are they 23 and they're dealing with these pains that I never had to deal with until I was in my 40s? Why are our children having these issues? They're mineral deficient. How can, because acid eats minerals. I'm telling you, acid eats minerals. I'm gonna show it to you. Acid eats, how do you know the mineral? I just showed you the minerals. Acid eats minerals. People say, Mike, I'm starting to understand. I shouldn't drink sodas. Nope, you missed it. You shouldn't drink threes. You shouldn't drink a pH 3, no matter what it is. They came out with a new product, and it was a 3, don't drink it. It's not the sugar, it's not the calories. It's a pH of 3. Your body wasn't designed for it. It leached out all your minerals. Gatorade. You want to know where these pros are out on Monday morning? They're buying hyperbaric chambers. I help them buy them. They're not doing what you think they're doing. They're definitely not drinking this. They got away from that 8-9 years ago. You know, they know not to drink this stuff. So everybody's like, well, I know that one's acidic. There's no difference. Quit taking that out of your kid's hand and putting that in their hand. I need you to pay attention to this color, because you're going to see this again from me or somebody else. We never know what color this is going to change. Why is it? There's too many variables. There's too many chemicals. But if you need to know that to be a fact, watch this. It's actually kind of a cool color, a little purplish. It's not bad. Well, anyway, you've seen it before. You've seen it pink, you've seen it gray, you've seen it. Pay attention to that color. Next time you see it, see what color it is. Why was their color different? What was it, high blood pressure week? Was it schizophrenia week? Was it bipolar week? Was there more chlorine because it was summertime? There's just 117,000 of them. It's going to be a different color every time. Here's what I want you to see. Because these, at this point, can't be that acidic. And it's mainly alkaline water. We know how powerful it is. These are healthy people. But this is acid. These are mineral-rich people. This is diluted Capri Sun. Are you with me? Well, it's acidic. Well, how acidic is it? It's acidic. Splash. But I don't drink that, Mike. I drink sports drinks.
Okay.
I'm going to try to do a drop so you can watch acid eats minerals. You watching it eat it?
Yeah.
Acid eats minerals. Gatorade. I drink Gatorade when I'm sick. Well, stop drinking Gatorade when you're sick, because your pH is going to be out of whack. You think pH isn't important? If your pool was sick, what do? You change out the water and you balance the pH. If your fish is swimming funky, kicking all, jerking around, what do? You change out all the water and you balance the pH. The vet says put some drops of these in there. Let me teach you healthcare in the United States. You bag up your little fish and take it to him. The doctor's going to do 3 things. He's going to name the ill. He's going to give him a pill. And you're going to get the bill. That's healthcare reform. Your fish has left funky gill syndrome. Don't freak out. He'll be okay. Put this little flake on top of the water and let him come up every morning. 1 flake every morning. And he'll be fine. We can manage this. We can treat that symptom. How many mornings did you want me to do that? The rest of his life. Okay, I just want the fish to live. Oh, well, come back, here's the bill. Not a free service. Take him to your veterinarian. Is that how the conversation goes? Yeah. No. Veterinarian says, hey, your tank's 80% water, just like you're 80% water. Change out all that water. All the water. And I'm like, then the fish will be okay? No. Put a few drops of these in there. What do those do, Mr. Veterinarian? Oh, they balance the pH. Is that important? Yes. Are you that far off as a fish? Go put a splash of this in your fish tank and watch them all go belly up.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will. Let's show you more. This is soda. I'll show that to you on a big scale. Are you watching it? People are like, ooh, I knew soda was acidic. Well, let's go back to this one. Splash. This is all alkaline water. This is mainly alkaline water. And you're acidic. Not yet, I'm not. Oh, yeah. And I could actually just blow oxygen in here and make it go the rest of the way. This carbonation even makes it sick. So watch this, I just put another splash in there if you just thought that was the case there. Yeah, you gotta move alkaline. Let me read you this. Let me show you something, and I'm gonna move on. Because I'm looking at you guys, and you got it in the most part. I know it's kind of like Petri dishes, and it's a little bit of overload on information, so let me show it to you on a big scale. Get to where you can see this, and I'll bring the point home. This is alkaline water. alkalized water. You're gonna go home with some water. There's 3 machines here, and you're gonna drink a bunch tomorrow. Not a little bit, drink a bunch. That much? No, drink more tomorrow. A bunch. Let's make sure it's alkaline before I do this. Alkalized. So what I do, about 5 drops here, and then about 10, 20, 30 drops over here. Doesn't really matter. Now, you can go to your doctor tomorrow after you drink this, because he's your doctor. You know him. And say, hey, doc, I got this guy, bald-headed guy. I don't know him, but you've been my doctor my whole life. If I want to get healthy, is there any truth to an alkaline diet of getting rid of that inflammation and getting healthy? And he's going to tell you, absolutely, 100%, that's the truth. And you're going to say, well, if you knew about this water, why didn't you tell me? And he might say, what water? The medical grade water from Japan. Never heard of it. Well, should I be drinking it? I don't know if I would drink it or not. Well, doc, what did you mean if I wanted to get healthy, I need to move to an alkaline diet? Now he's going to tell you what you've heard your whole life. Are you ready? If you want to face these challenges you're having head on, here's what you got to do. And then you tell me when it sounds familiar. You got to stop eating that. Don't ever eat that. Don't eat that. Never eat this. Stop smoking the cigar. Quit eating the cow. Don't eat it out of a wrapper. Don't eat it out of a can. While we're on the list, don't ever eat that. And we're about like going, hey, that ain't going to work for me. I knew that. If I ran around like a little bunny rabbit and picked the lagoons and berries off the trees, you know, things would get better. I'm not going to do it. I know me. I've seen me not do it. But then you say, doc, this time I mean it. I want to be on the planet. I got grandbabies. Anything else? Yeah. You should probably work out 2 or 3 times a week. Get your cardio up. Let the blood capillaries flow. You should probably go to your chiropractor and get some adjustments. Okay. Anything else? Yeah. You should probably take yoga and get the stress out of your life because it builds acidosis. And you're like, you know what? This is going to happen. Now, people laugh because they think I'm making fun of it, but there might be some people in the room that is their lifestyle. They're very stringent on what they eat. They work out every day, and so I'm not making fun of it. But let's say that's your lifestyle, and this is you. Did it by food, not water, and lifestyle. Even if we ask them, hey, you want a Sprite? You know what they're going to say? Nope, not after that bald-headed guy freaked me out. I don't drink Sprite. But give me a splash. I just miss the taste. A splash can't hurt me. I'm a specimen of nature. Guys, this is a splash versus a half a gallon. But this isn't a splash of acidic. This is a splash of 3.
Wow. That's it.
Splash.
That's it.
Acid. We don't teach this here. Acid eats minerals.
Yes, it does.
But you know what, Mike? I'm going to get on your program. I want to kind of do my program, do your program. Any of y'all like that? That's how I am. Hey, I hear you. I'm not a dodo. I'll get on your program. I'm going to do a little bit of my program, a little bit of your program. But guess what I found out? You know how powerful this is. See how I'm getting healthy and alkaline? Oh, back on medication. I'm not getting it done with my lifestyle. Not working out, not eating like a bunny, not running around the planet. I'm going to need to get on some medication. We're going to need to treat the symptom. Guys, you understand what treating the symptom is? That's not root cause. It's hard for us to hear. Who believes if your engine light was on, it's probably serious business? Who believes that? You ever had an engine light come on? You're like, oh, what do I do? That's not a good call, is it? And then someone, you take it to the shop, and they say, hey, we'll take care of that for you. And you come back to the car and it's off, and you're like, ooh, awesome. What'd you do? He said, I took that bulb and I moved it about a half a turn to the left, and now it doesn't come on anymore. I said, well, that's because the bulb's not making a connection. Yeah, but it's not on. That's treating the symptom. Now your light's not on. Oh, isn't there a reason my engine light was on? Here's a medication because you have diarrhea. Hey, I know that stops me up and I don't have diarrhea, but isn't there a reason I was having diarrhea? I mean, can we talk about the root cause? No, that's too hard to hear. I know. I don't know you're good enough to teach you that. Huh? Yes.
Well, let me ask you, when you take medications and you drink this water,
Yeah.
does it all counteract the medicine? In other words, does it make it not work or
Let
make
me,
it?
let me ask you a question, because it's a great question. There's a button made for your question. There's a pH made for your question. It's a 7. It's not microclustered, it's neutral. Okay? What you shouldn't do is take time-released medications with the 9.5, because it's going to speed it up. And I'm going to show that to you. And when they say not to do it, that means like a half hour before you take your medicine. Don't drink 9.5. Now, if it's medicine, it doesn't matter. But if it's time-released, you don't want to do this, because it's going to speed up the medication. It's not going to let it time-release normally. Because its absorption rate is not like H2O, and I'm going to show you that also. But not only is that a good question, we have a button made for that answer. There's a button made for when you take medication. You hit a certain button when you take medications if it's time released. But why is that? Because it's not H2O. There's your first answer why that's not H2O, because you can take H2O with any medication from that standpoint. But hey, let me read you this and let me move on, because I'm going to show you, I'm going to answer her question next. Hey, this guy wrote a book. If you don't know him, let me give you his credentials. Let me get your attention here. This is Dr. Hiroma Shinya. You think he's from Texas?
No? No.
He's from Japan. He's from Japan, the _1 country in the world. Credentials aren't important to everybody, but somebody it is. So let me tell you his credentials. He's the chief of the surgical endoscopy unit. So he's not just an endoscopy. He's the chief of all the surgical endoscopy unit. Big hospital or small hospital? Let's see. Beth Israel Medical Center.
Wow.
He's a smart guy. He's the clinical professor of surgery. He's the clinical professor of all surgery at the Albert Einstein College of Medicine. He's a smart guy. Now, if he still doesn't ring a bell with you, listen to me. He invented the colonoscopy. He is the father of endoscopy. The snare that grabs the polyp off the colon is called the Shinya method. This guy's brilliant. And he writes a book. He says something in this book. And he didn't slide it in the middle and hope you caught it. Stay with me, because this is going to be an eye-opener. He writes this on page 1 of chapter 1. And trust me, after I say this, you're going to want to see it. Come up here afterwards and come read it for yourself, because you're not going to believe what you're going to hear. He's done 350,000 colonoscopies, so he's not new at it, and he's not guessing. That's clinical. 350,000. He takes all of his cancer patients, all of them, and puts them on an alkaline diet. Every last one of them. If you want him to be your doctor and you have cancer and you won't go on an alkaline diet, he is not going to be your doctor. People don't do that. We do that in the United States. If you're not going to take chemotherapy and radiation, you can't be with this. This guy's not your doctor. I want to try to approach it this way. We can't help you if you're going to go do that. All of them do. Now watch what this guy says. In the enzyme factor, diet and lifestyle introduced in this book is able to report a clinical result. That's not someone's opinion, it's a study. Of a 0 cancer recurrence rate. None of those people have cancer. We're hoping half our people make it. None of them do. I know the look. I had to say, you got to be paraphrasing, Mike. That can't be what he's saying. Oh, next paragraph. I want to say that again. None of my patients have ever had to face cancer again. We moved them alkaline. Did the alkaline diet cure them? It put their body in a state. Yeah, those things beat themselves. We've helped hundreds of people that used to have cancer, used to have diabetes, used to have Crohn's. It's too hard to hear, I know. But the water didn't cure them. The water put their body in a state. Same thing. You move alkaline, those things can't live there. And they beat cancer. Well, where's that information here? Well, I'll start with there's no money in it. There's no money in it. You can come to my house and beat cancer. You know, we can treat it for a lifetime and bill them every step of the way. I'm not telling you we do it by design. I'm just telling you that it's a big business. It's a big business. That's a book, and you can read it. This is how they approach cancer. I guarantee you, you can look it up. If you need me to send it to you, I will. If you have cancer in Japan, they don't send you alkaline water. They don't send you an ionizer. They send you the SD501 made by Enagic.
That's right.
That's what they put you on. Free. Here it is. Not a smaller brand, not an off brand, not a brand made by a third world country, not something that sounds like the same technology. This one, it's a medical device. And you drink it for 90 days, and you come back to the doctor, and it goes away. Did the water cure them? No. I know those things are hard to hear. Documentation beats conversation. This isn't new. This has been around for 65 years. Now, I'm seeing some interest in a few people on the study. I can tell. I've been doing it a long time. You wanna look this up from a case study, from a professional standpoint? Stop going to Google. Put it in your church at Google, and they'll tell you it's a cult. Stop going to Google, okay? Go to where businessmen and women go, and go to where doctors go. Go to Google Scholar.
That's right,
Scholar.
Google Scholar.
Fact-based.
That's right, Google
And then
Scholar.
define this water, what it is. This water is electrolyzed reduced water. It's ERW.
Yes.
And start putting in Google Scholar, ERW and diabetes, ERW, this is nationwide, worldwide, ERW and antioxidants, ERW and Crohn's, ERW and whatever it is. And you're not gonna see someone's opinion, you're gonna see case studies. The doctors who did it, the people involved, that's documentation. And you're gonna be like, where did these all come from? They've been doing it for 70 years. It's new to you. It's new to you. Hey, give that a round of applause. Let me show you itty bitty water real quick. I'm gonna show you a few more things. Who's getting some good information?
Yes.
Now, it's hard to hear, isn't it? I know. Watch this. Hey, I had a few people raise their hand when I said this. Who does green tea? I saw 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So green tea, everybody would get this, but if you're a green tea drinker, you'll get it quicker. Because I'm gonna take you guys in the front, because I haven't got to meet you, and you drink. Do you already drink this water?
No.
Okay, so you make green tea. You use. I got green tea here. If you haven't seen it, you use tap water or bottled water when you make it. Bottled water. Is there a certain brand, or does it matter?
We use spring water.
Spring water.
Generic.
Something like this.
Yes,
Generic
something
spring
like
water.
that.
Generic spring water. Okay, look, I'm gonna make tea, and they're professional tea makers too, so they're gonna guide you. So what you do is you put the spring water over the bag, you take your finger and you punch it around, and they're like, no, dodo. That's not how you do it, is it? No, that's not how you do it. So what do you gotta do to make tea? You gotta heat it. Slow it down, guys. Why do you have to heat water to make tea? Why can't I just punch my finger around it? Because when you heat water, you restructure it molecularly. You change it from basketballs. When it gets hot, golf balls, softballs. When it gets really hot, it becomes BBs. When it becomes steeping hot, you steep tea. It's so small that it can permeate the polyphenols of the tea bag. If you keep heating the water and don't make tea, what's going to happen? It's going to get so small, it's going to evaporate. It's going to go in the air. It's going to be restructured water. It's going to be mist. It's going to be steam. It gets small. And when it gets small enough to permeate the polyphenols, it makes tea. That's the science. Guess what this water is too big to do? What water did I use? Guess what this water is too big to do? It's too big to make tea. Guess what else is too big to do? It's too big to get into the cell. It's too big to get into the port. And even if it was small, there's no minerals in it, so it wouldn't do you any good. I told you that this water is 4 molecules. This is a game changer. You seen this? Watch this. Cold water, 4 molecules. So it's already smaller than your water when you heat it. So what do you think is going to happen? That freaks a lot of people out. Green tea drinkers are like, I steep tea for like 12 minutes. I was like, yeah, well, this is it. Well, I'm going to give you the spoiler alert. I'm not going to do it twice. About 10 cups up here. I can go all the way.
How long does it stay in that structure?
Long time.
Does it lose the structure?
No, don't lose the structure. Might lose some of its pH.
Okay.
Hey, guys, this is that contact. How many are you going to do? I can go all the way across this table and more.
It works the same way with any tea, right? Not just green tea.
Yeah. But you wouldn't think this would be very strong, though, would you?
But it is.
Maybe not. You guys decide. If it's weak, say it's weak. But if it's as strong as your tea, say it's strong as your tea. Because that's Mike Wilson 1 second tea. Does that surprise you?
You got more flavor.
Hey, quit spending half your afternoon steeping tea. Now let me answer your question, ma'am, about absorption. I want you to see this. She talked about medication. Look up here, guys. I'm going to answer your question about absorption. So I take the tea bag. You ready? Let me do one more thing before I do that. Hang on, because I want to be fair. Let's use another bottle of water. You see how we're not making tea? And people say, well, you kind of washed the bag out, probably. Well, maybe. Now let's go back to this water and watch this. I'm making tea. You're just using the wrong water. I want to answer your question about absorption. Watch this. I'm going to take this tea bag. You got to get to where you can see this. I'm going to squeeze very, very little out of each. Just, look, not even enough to fill a quarter of the bottom, right? Think of this as supplements, medications, whatever you want to do. Think of this as supplements. A lot of us take supplements. The problem with supplements is we take them with tap water. There's no absorption rate. Well, how do you know there's no absorption rate? Well, watch. You don't even see a color change. Does anybody take vitamins, supplements? Who believes it's not how many vitamins you take, it's what vitamins you take?
Right.
It's about absorption, not consumption. If you're taking vitamins and you can see them in the toilet the next day, they didn't absorb. Quit buying those vitamins. Watch this. Same little drop. But this has absorption to it. This is why the athletes drink it. You ready for this? Crazy.
Oh, wow.
All water must not be the same. So what it does, your food's gonna taste different. It's gonna absorb everything. So here's your answer. It's gonna absorb your medications at 9.5. You know, you're supposed to release to your that medication. Now it's gonna absorb it all. Good or bad, medications, you really don't want that to happen. If you're drinking scotch, saddle up. I mean, it's gonna happen quick. It's just not the same thing. If you're super hydrating, that's what a hangover is. It's a dehydration. I mean, you can't drink this and be hungover the next day if you're drinking it. If you can get drunk and forget to drink it, I've seen me do it. So hey, that's hydration. These are why the pros drink it. Give that a round of applause and I'll keep going. I know I sound like the sales guy. I'm not the sales guy. You can't buy it from me. I'm teaching you why and how. I'm teaching you the science. If you get excited and say, Mike, sell me one, I don't sell them. I know that sounds crazy. I'll get you back to the person who invited you. They don't sell them either, but they can refer you how to buy one. Let me tell you about this machine here. This is a medical device. There's a lot of companies out there trying to duplicate this one. This one's been around for 45 years. It's patented and no one can duplicate it. They can only get close. A lot of smart businesses know how to replicate it for half the price, and that's okay. I'm not going to tell you it's a bad thing. I'm just going to tell you buyer beware. It's not the same thing. That's all. You're going to get what you pay for. Only one way to make one cheaper is to make it cheaper. Use cheaper materials.